Pow! I wanted to try an exciting intro before we get to our boring 10 minutes. So hello again, and welcome to another movie review. This time I'm talking about possibly Paul Thomas Anderson's best film, in my opinion. Some people hate this film. I love it. If you don't like this film, your opinion, if you haven't seen it, can't say I recommend it. That is, you can see it, There Will Be Blood. Starring Daniel Day-Lewis, Dylan Frazier, and if my memory doesn't deceive me, a man called Dominic West. So, it's basically a very basic film. Oh, fuck, sorry. Sorry about that. I was getting a little bit of annoying glare. But, it's basically Paul Thomas in. Oh yes, and Paul Dano's also in it. But it's about Daniel Day-Lewis, who plays it. Daniel playing Mule, a guy that, at the beginning of the film, you see him mining. Then he finds some iron, and he puts some TNT in there. Sorry, dynamite. But he doesn't pull the fucking. But so it starts off with Daniel playing Mule. Basically, what happens is he falls down his mine shaft, but he's able to climb back out with this kind of iron block or stone. Sorry, I've been playing Minecraft for a little while, so kind of got to me. But as I said, he's been mining for a long time, finds this iron, and he's going back. Breaks his leg, and you see, after he gets out of the mine, he's burrowing onward with his fucking burrowing onward with his fucking gun. But the next town is 400 miles away. The man burrows like it. So, see him getting paid for that. And then there's a shot of him and Dylan Frazier. There's actually a little bit of a funny bit. Dylan Frazier's mom didn't know who the fuck Daniel Day-Lewis was. So, she goes to the video store and asks the clerk to give her something with Daniel Day-Lewis. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, you won't get this joke, but I've seen the film and I get the joke. The film she got was Gangs of New York. In Gangs of New York, Daniel Day-Lewis plays a guy, he plays a serial killer named the Butcher. No, sorry, a mock crime lord named the Butcher. Not the best film to see but what happened is they rushed to a copy of a film called Age of Innocence, which is actually pretty good, so Saved by Paul Thomas Anderson. And that film was can I do that? Yes, I can. It was actually also being released. It was also being filmed during the time of the filming of this, No Country for Old Men. So I actually have to review this sometime. I have to want to watch it. Apparently, it's released by Miramax, but plot is very simple. It's a portrayal of how Daniel Plainview, his son, actually his ears get damaged in a gas explosion in one of his wells in well bearing, and so he becomes deaf. You know what Daniel Plainview does? He leaves him on a train. And then there's Paul Dano, who said, I pointed you at this well, you owe me money. And you know what? You know what Daniel Plainview does? You know what DDL does to him? Takes his dumb bitch ass, kicks him into the oil, and just boom, boom, when are you coming to fix myself? Boom. Just kicking the shit out of him. Which is actually pretty good. And then, actually, there's the scene and where a guy calling him his brother, but his brother had actually died of pneumonia. So you know what Daniel Day-Lewis does? Takes this tiny little faggoty gun, shoots that guy. But one other thing that had happened before he does that is he was staying with him at his home. Son, being deaf and losing his will to speak, reads his diary, which actually belonged to the other guy, his actual brother, and he sets the house on fire. Now what it does, runs out, they put out the fire, and then he's like, boom, boom. And as the film progresses, and you see how fucked up Daniel Plainview becomes. And then there's this guy that finds him after he's killed the man. Sees that it was actually dug up the body of the guy he killed. So, I want you to take the blood of Christ. To be baptized. And, you see, Daniel Plainview in this film is about this guy is basically the biggest atheist of all time. So, he goes from there. So it's basically, he's being baptized so that the man will talk to him about putting a fucking pipeline through his land. And, Paul Dano smacking him around, like, I've abandoned my child! Is what he says. And then at the end of it all, slaps himself. Now I get my pipeline. And he got his pipeline. He became filthy rich. And he starts living at this huge-ass mansion, doing lots of healthy shit. Like, there's this scene in the film where he's put up these glasses at one end of the hallway. He's just loading his gun as Paul Dano walks in. I'm sorry, his son walks in, and just... and he reloads. Does the same fucking thing again. And his son... Then the butler tells him his son is there. They talk. He says, I want you to speak, not flap your hands at your little talkie dog. I want you to speak to me. Which he does. I'm married. Going bed, not going. He says, like, yeah, I need money to drill. And he says, that makes you my competitor. Not even if you're my son. When you're my competitor, I squash you like a little ant, is what he says to him. But basically, that's in the last 40 minutes of the film. After his son leaves, Paul Dano shows up. And says that the guy, the son of the man that came to him and got him to baptize, he has like this land and oil on it, and he says, will you help us drill? And he said, okay, I'll help you drill if you acknowledge to me that you're a heretic and God is a lie. False prophet and God is a lie. I'm a false prophet and God is a lie. Then he says to him, see, I own all the land around his property. It's called drainage. Over time, it leaks to my other pipelines, so there's no oil there. And basically, he gets so pissed off, he beats him to death with a fucking... What was it again? He beats him to death